Am not Christian Piles. I am Kyle Bradkey, lone wolfing it today here at Flow HQ. But Christian is on Skype, and he's got a special guest with him. Thank you.
Your teams typically bring, of course, this is your first time with the Badgers, but a lot of scrap, both sides. Buffalo teams fight; they claw and scratch hard. Is that a good? Does that make for a really good opening test?
Yeah, I think you're going to see two teams wrestle hard. You know what I mean? And these guys are, Buffalo's hard-nosed, well-coached. They kind of have the same philosophy we do in our conditioning and making everybody try to fight to earn every point. So I really think you're going to see an entertaining match. Two teams that are going to wrestle hard, with a lot of intensity. And, I think it's a great way to kick off college wrestling tonight.
Yeah. And we're going to be super unbiased on the call tonight because we're going to have Ben Askren, head coach of the Badger RTC, on the call. What I noticed interviewing a couple of the guys, they talked a lot about Ben and his impact on their wrestling. What's it been like having him around?
Oh, it's been great. Ben's running our RTC. We have RTC practices for these guys, and he brings a whole different thing. Ben's the complete opposite of me, complete opposite of Coach Reeder, and so these guys are getting the best of both worlds in terms of the intensity and the basics, the fundamentals, and then you're getting Ben in there, who's about as laid back as he could possibly be, rolling around and cradling people from everywhere and doing things that we don't do. So I think we're a great team. We complement each other very, very well.
Yeah, and looking at your team, you got a couple of pretty scrambly roll around type of guys. I want to start with Connor Brown. He transferred from SDSU over here. What kind of growth have you seen in him? He was a guy that, since we streamed your duels, we got to see a lot of Connor. Kind of like, man, a lot of potential there. Really good in scrambles, tough on top, kind of hard nosed. What kind of progression have you seen from his true freshman year to this year?
Yeah, CB was a baby, man. You know what I mean? He was a young true freshman, and we didn't have any choice but to throw him out there last year. The growth I've seen from him over the summer, first of all, the physical growth. He's got some muscle. He's got some muscles. He's bigger. He's way more mature in terms of his nutrition, his work ethic, and then wrestling wise, he's grown leaps and bounds. He's not out there just trying to hang on and catch people. He's out there initiating contact and trying to get to his leg attacks, and he's just overall, I think he's a completely different wrestler.
Yeah, excited to watch him tonight. Another guy I know many people are fired up to see is because he's kind of been someone's like, well, how would he do if he had his shot? And it's Tristan Moran. We talk so much about the depth in the Oklahoma State room, and now he's transferred here. He's going to be your starter at 41. What have you seen from him?
Tristan's awesome. First of all, he brings a different light as the kind of person he is. You know what I mean? He's a leader, and his quirkiness, his goofiness is just everybody attracts to him. First of all. Second of all, he's bringing a little bit of different intensity into our room. He doesn't like to get beat. He doesn't like to get scored on. He's bringing a lot of heat in the room, and of course, he's bringing a different kind of style. He's hard to wrestle, and now we've got him a little bit more basic defense. He's way better when guys are, not just straight going to his rolls. He knows how to down block and I'm excited to see him wrestle. He's excited. He knows he hasn't had an opportunity he felt like he should have a couple of years ago, but now he's got his opportunity. He's got 2 years left to showcase what kind of wrestler he really is, and I'm just excited this guy's on our team.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch him. And these two brothers, the Wick brothers, back-to-back 57-65. Xander's season last year cut short with a hip injury, but now he's back, and he's got a really tough guy that is probably to most wrestling fans still super under the radar, even though he He made the U23 team. Alex Smythe. He beat Evan Wick at U23s in a pretty big upset, and now he's going to be down at 157. Two pretty hard-nosed guys. Thoughts on that match?
Yeah. First of all, I'm proud of Xander, man. Xander had a serious injury. When we got here, Xander was, just walking barely, not doing anything. So I'm very proud of what Xander, the rehab he has done to get where he is. And the last couple weeks, the last month, I've seen a different Xander Wick in terms of excitement, in terms of the look on his face. This guy is just happy to be out there after what he has gone through to get back on the mat and excited to wrestle. And when you get a guy that's excited and that fired up, he's very dangerous. Then you throw in there that he's a very, very good, skilled wrestler. The sky's the limit. I'm excited to see Xander Wick wrestle just for the fact that this guy is excited and fired up, and he deserves everything that he gets for the way he's fought back through this injury, and the work that he's had to put in to get back into shape and do the things that he wants to accomplish. So I'm very, very excited for this guy. He deserves to be out there competing.
So you've been here 7 months, and unquestionably the best wrestler on your team right now is Evan Wick. How important is it that, Evan seems bought into the philosophy wholly. How important is it to have that number one guy and a new coaching staff aligned, and how aligned do you feel that you two?
Well, I'll tell you, when we first got here, we've talked to Evan a lot. When we first got here, he said after the first 30-minute practice that he was bought in. And that was huge for us because, not everybody was bought in to begin with. When you've got your leader vocally, supporting us and saying, guys, change, this is what's going to be, how great it is, it's important. But this kid, I say it over and over again, Evan Wick is unbelievable. You know what I mean? Just as a person. And when you get a guy that is an unbelievable person, that translates into an unbelievable leader. His work ethic is unbelievable again. And, the sky's the limit. Plus, you throw in, the kid can wrestle.
Yeah.
He's very, very talented. You go along with being a good person and doing all the right things. That's exactly what we want for the University of Wisconsin's program. That's the kind of kids we're trying to recruit and bring in. And he's a living example of what our program is all about.
And then think about one more match I'm excited for. Heavyweight, two pretty tough guys. You got Gunning from Buffalo, probably the favorite on paper against your freshman, Trent Hilger. What have you seen from Trent? He had a pretty solid spring, summer freestyle. What are you looking for in this match?
Man, again, Trent is excited to wrestle. And that's number one. These guys are excited to be out there. Trent is ready to go. He's going to have a great year. He's a freshman. We're going to have some ups and downs with him. But I'm excited to see this guy compete. He's a workhorse. He does all the right things again. Excited to be out there and just, a great human being. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch him compete all year and accomplish great things. He's going to have one heck of a career here at Wisconsin.
That's awesome. So, all right, so it's 8 o'clock here. What's the plan for the Badgers up till weigh-ins?
So we've had most of them come in. They're going to all get in here before 10 o'clock, do something, whether it's just walk, stretch, jog, go outside for a walk. Some of them want to drill a little bit. Some of them want to go over the game plan a little bit. And then we won't see them. We won't see them till 4:30 when we get our pregame weight cut in, and then a little rehydration, a little food, and then 7 o'clock it's go time.
All right, nice. Well, I know you're chomping at the bit. You got stuff to do. Anything else before we let you go? Of course,
no. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you putting us on Flow and all the support you guys do. So we're excited, and hopefully everybody tunes in and watch these Badgers jumping around.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming on, Coach. I'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, that's Chris Bono. He's off getting after it now, headed right into the wrestling room, I'm sure. So, all right, Bracky, I'm back.
Good stuff as always from Bono.
Yeah, he's the man. Having a lot of fun here as always. Madison's, man, you would like it here, Bracky. It feels very college football-y here. It's wonderful. Nice fall weather.
We went there on Final X road trip, and it was lovely.
It is. Apparently, it's just always nice weather in Wisconsin. That's just what I'm going to assume until I'm here and it's not lovely.
Until you go in January?
Yeah, I'm going to try to avoid it. Oh, no, I might come in February when they duel Iowa.
Oh, I bet it's cold then.
Yeah, probably February. Wisconsin, going to be a little chilly. We'll have to roll the dice. I'll have to buy a jacket. Okay. All right, so that's what's going on here. I got to talk to Coach Stutzman. I tell you what, Buffalo's got 5, 6, 7 pretty tough dudes.
Mhm.
There's some dudes under the radar. There's 74 as a JUCO national champ last year who smashed his way. He like bonused his way quarter semis finals. So he's a pretty tough guy. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting match. There's going to be you have to say Wisconsin's the favorite on paper, but Buffalo is going to be in a lot of these matches. I think we're going to see a lot of fight. They looked really sharp in their practice yesterday, and yeah. So
But
I'm
25 will
excited
be
for this.
25 will be interesting too. Akins isn't bad at all. And then
No.
like you said, I'm interested to see Smythe little maybe revenge match for Xander. But yeah,
I tried to set Xander up for that, but he wouldn't he wouldn't play up the revenge factor when I interviewed him yesterday. He's like, "No, I'm just really excited to wrestle."
Yeah.
Come on, Xander, throw a dagger.
It's gonna
Say
be
this is for my brother's
seriously.
honor.
Yeah, make this about family. But Buffalo is one of those teams. They're just gonna wrestle hard for 7 minutes. They're gonna be in your face, and it's kind of like Wisconsin with Bono. It's gonna be the exact same way. So you're gonna get a slugfest tonight.
Yeah. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of holding back. So that's gonna be great. Fired up for that. As I mentioned, Ben Askren gonna be on the call. Who knows what that means? We just know it's happening.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah, a little scared, but I think fear's okay. We'll just channel it into positive energy.
Mhm.
So that's tonight. Tristan Moran I had an interview with him. Check it out. It's on the site. But I didn't know Tristan Moran's a really, really funny guy, very loose guy. Bono's not kidding around when he says brings a different energy. That's definitely true with him. Oh, and so Brack, this was hilarious. He was like, in 2010, I was commentating matches at the Sunkist Open.
Mhm.
He's like, there's a video of me on Flow, and it's Bader interviewing 10-year-old Tristan Moran, Dalton Brady, and Tristan's brother, and it's hilarious. It's like they're like literally calling matches at 10 years old, so it's pretty funny. I'll try
awesome.
to tweet that link out, but he pulled it right up. So he's been at it longer than us, Bradkey.
Dang, he is. He's a grinder.
Yeah, he gets after it. Okay, so that's Buffalo, Wisconsin. That's tonight. You're not alma mater, but maybe sort of. We'll just call it your alma mater. West Virginia takes on Northern Colorado. What are you fired up for that duel?
I'm fired up to see just kind of what product we get on the mat with West Virginia and Tim Flynn kind of ushering in that new era. And then there's a couple actually really intriguing matchups. At 133, these guys split last year. Rico Montoya and Matt Schmidt, number 14 versus number 19. Rico won the duel. Matt Schmidt kind of put it on him at Big 12s. And a guy who really made strides as the season went on as a freshman, 2-2 at NCAAs. And I think Montoya was as well. But just two grinders, hard-nosed kids, and that one should be a lot of fun. And then interesting, West Virginia going with the true freshman at 174, Josh Ramirez, originally a Louisiana kid, won.
Oh, yeah, this guy.
Yeah, he was a Fargo AA like 6 or 7 times, and then he transferred to one of the schools outside of Iowa City, I believe, for his senior year. Won his state titles as a senior in Iowa. He was originally committed to Ohio State, but ends up going to West Virginia.
Oh my goodness!
So they're going with him right out the gate. So that'll be really interesting to see what he is.
Well, you got to use him before he switches schools again.
That's true.
This is potentially very smart. Tim Flynn sees the chessboard. He's like, this guy he's very mobile.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him in the lineup for as long as I can.
Yeah, and then
go
ahead.
I was just gonna say, I remember watching him at Fargo and thinking, how does this kid get so good in Louisiana? He's legit.
Yeah.
He's really legit. And you give Flynn something to work with,
Yep.
and they take off, man. It's just like at this point, it's the system, it's Flynn, and I think that's the cool part about tonight. It's like, man, you can't make any real judgments on the product that Bono and Flynn put out match 1 of their first year here, but at the same time, you can kind of see there's a potential you're going to see some signals of change. So that's something we'll definitely be able to watch out for. And both teams are taking on quality programs. Northern Colorado's no joke. They're coming for sure. Troy Nickerson, I mean, when you look at the recruiting that Northern Colorado's doing, they're going to be a team in the national discussion more and more as time goes on. So these are not cupcake matches for these two teams either.
No, not at all. And it's a conference match, West Virginia, Northern Colorado. So that's going to affect conference seeding on down the line. So it's crazy that, it opens up with such significance. But then at 57,
True.
I think we're going to see Zach Moore, and we haven't seen him in a long time, so it'll be interesting to see what he is. And then at 97, Noah Adams and Jacob Seeley, which is a nice little matchup. Adams, I was ranked like as high as second in his weight class and is like a top 50 big boarder coming out. He's a redshirt freshman. And then Seeley, I believe, was a qualifier last year. So a nice little test for him to open up his college debut.
Yeah, Adam's a beast. In high school, excited to see him. So yeah, a nice little opening.
Nice little Thursday night.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, so what else is going on in the world today? We got Daktronics entries. A little upset. Doesn't look like Nebraska's sending starters. Kind of a bummer. Really wanted to see. We could have seen, for example, Chad Red versus Mitch McKee. That would have been awesome, but no Chad Red. But Gable's in the mix, and back. I think Gable, he's had a very historic career, but he has the potential to be a 5-time Daktronics champion. And to me, that could be the crown jewel for Gable Steveson because he won as a high schooler,
right?
And he can have 4 more. So I think, honestly, for his Wikipedia page, when it's all said and done, the Olympic titles, the age level championships, word 1, 5-time Daktronics champion, and that's on the table, and that's what's at risk potentially this weekend.
It's gonna be something that probably no one ever does, as long as Minnesota continues to go to Daktronics. They can't derail him from that.
No, and honestly, there have been more 4-time NCAA champions than 5-time Daktronics champions.
That's very true.
So immediately he enters the Cale, Dake, Stieber conversation.
Elite company, as they say.
Elite company, yes, sir. So Daktronics this weekend. Pretty cool. Also, we're going to see Aaron Brooks, we believe, at the Wyoming Cowboy Open. Of course, Aaron is taking a gray shirt year. He's at the OTC. And, man, I think – I know Penn State fans are fired up about him. And you want to talk about the guy that is going to carry the torch for Penn State in terms of that transcendence. The guys – if you can't say that it's going to be Brooks, but, man, if it's going to be someone – Brooks has all the signals, all the makings of a future multiple national champion, and we'll kind of see where he's at. We've kind of – think about it, Brack. He wins the last time we saw him wrestle some really tough folk-style competition because we've kind of seen him – he tears everyone up in freestyle. But, he's from Maryland. I don't remember him at Super 32. I don't either. I don't think he ever went to Ironman. So – really, we'll get to kind of see a little bit. It's kind of an exciting new thing that we'll see what he's got in folk style. Certainly, the takedowns are going to be takedowns in either style, but it's a new little wrinkle there for Brooks.
It's not a loaded field, It's not super crazy,
right.
But it will just be interesting to see how he fares against guys that are more mature and have been in college rooms multiple years and have that experience.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Kind of disappointing, the match we were really fired up for or one of them for the All-Star, Gross Wilson. Sounds like Gross not going to be able to wrestle. I don't know if it's an injury or whatever. It sounds like an injury. So not going to have that match, but still McKenna Brock. So
that'll be fire. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I am too. I think Mike Mal's going to do a little breakdown of that match, technically. Bracky's already done the breakdown, but we're going to let Mike give it a shot here.
Yeah, he didn't want me stepping into his territory, and I just wanted to let him have one.
I get it, and I think that's good of you. So if you're wondering where everyone is, it's just Kyle and I, and that's more than enough if you ask me. Nomad is en route to his home state of Maryland, where he will have delicious crab cakes and fellowship with his family and Ohio State Navy.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be very exciting. We mentioned that. So I think he maybe even on a plane right now. Micah Jordan versus Jared Prince looks like the top match on paper. And I think Ohio State's going to have their full lineup, even though they've got U23 guys. I think they're sending everyone. McKenna is running the gauntlet from All-Star to this duel.
Well, they put their probables out, and they had McKenna listed.
No, I saw a tweet this morning that, he's doing both.
He is?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. And then he's on the U23 team, and that's in like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be.
The only one that
And
uh was a little surprising to me is they had uh Breaking Mead listed at 25 instead of Heinzelman.
I'm wondering, I mean, typically Ohio State, if they're gonna wrestle a true freshman, they'll wrestle him right away. But maybe first duel,
Mm-hmm.
bring him along, and I guess you don't have to pull it. It's not like the duel should not be in jeopardy
Right.
against Navy, so they're probably just saying, why not bring him, or why wrestle him
Yeah.
for something that could be inconsequential, and if he gets hurt, then you kind of end up with a redshirt situation. Although everyone gets the medical years now.
Although I'm looking at
So
the probables right now, and I didn't catch this earlier. Kevin Snyder listed at 197, not Colin Moore.
okay.
So I'm not
Oh,
sure what's going on there.
it's probably the Maryland thing. They're probably giving him a.
Yes. Good call.
Yeah, I thought of a thing.
Good
Okay.
job.
Maybe they'll bump up Colin to heavyweight.
Hey, how about this? Someone just Brian Coder, want to give you credit, put this on Facebook Live. He says Michael Beard versus Connell at the Clarion Open.
Ooh.
We knew Kent State was going, so we knew Connell would be there, but we're kind of in the dark on what red shirts, gray shirts, any other guys that would be there. So that's a nice little juicy nug.
Very juicy nug. That's a lot of horsepower for Michael Beard. We'll learn a lot. I think he needs some seasoning still, although I think Beard's super talented. Although Kyle Cannell, we think about his NCAAs, but this was an up and down dude all last year, even up to the MAC tournament. So that is a great potential matchup. And speaking of Kyle, that flow film is all but done about Kyle Cannell, and it is really, really good. I think you guys are going to love it. It's a tough story. The things Kyle has been through, not everyone knows. And, just him getting back on the mat, it was a triumph in itself, and him able to place third at NCAAs from unseeded is just the cherry on top of the story. So that's going to be done, very soon. They're looking to finish it up. We saw kind of one of the last cuts on Monday or Tuesday, gave notes. So they're going to be saying, hey, this is good to go up here in the next couple days or so. So hopefully next week sometime you guys get that.
It's pretty
treat.
It's pretty incredible how open Kyle is with us and just honest, and it's not the easiest subject to talk about. And I think a lot of people feel uncomfortable with it, but hopefully this brings light to it and can help some people.
Yeah, I think it definitely will do that, if nothing else. Okay, so that's that. Iowa wrestle-offs. I wish these were streamed live on Big Ten and FloWrestling, but they're not. It would be awesome because they've got some very, very interesting matches. Looking at 141, we've kind of put Max Murin in the starting lineup, and Vince Turk is a tough hombre, and he's not going to give it up easy. And maybe I don't know, is he the favorite and we just don't really know it? Or are we just trying to crown Murin a little early?
He had a great ending to the season last year. Won a couple matches at NCAAs that people didn't think he was going to win. So maybe we are overlooking him a little bit. Now, I know it doesn't mean anything. It's got to be Murin in that opener, right? Because Turk's suspended, correct?
Right.
Yeah. But obviously that doesn't mean anything. It's just one match, and Murin's not going to get the competition there to where he just runs away with the spot if he wins.
Exactly.
But yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely interested in that one. Who do you think Turk's the favorite?
Well, I didn't, and then people talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are like, man, I don't know. I think it's Turk, and he kind of messes with you a little bit. In my mind, Murin's the better guy. I think he just has more offense, a little more on the mat, a little better head hands. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. I'm leaning Murin and upside, and maybe he drops the early the wrestle off, but I think by Midlands, I think the spot will be Murin's.
Yeah, I agree.
But we'll see. He's got Happel. Murin Happel is the first match. Happel's no joke. He was nearly the starter last year.
He beat Tommy Thorne.
He had some time. What'd you say?
He beat Tommy Thorne. Remember that he threw
Yeah.
him?
He pinned him. That was a weird match, as I recall.
Yes, no, it was.
I think he beat Gasca too.
Yeah, so
If I'm
that'll be a tough test for him. I bet this is one of those situations where we see them kind of like alternate until after Midlands, like you said, and they both wrestle in the same bracket, and then whoever's having the better season, or even if they hit each other head to head, goes the rest of the way.
Let's act like that's our idea, and then when they do that, it'll be like,
Right.
Iowa, listen
As
to
first
our
reported
advice.
on Flow Radio Live.
Exactly. Other interesting matchups. Well, DeSanto will wrestle Paul Glenn. That's going to be Paul Glenn at least wrestles hard, but DeSanto, you figure he's going to mow through the 33 competition. And then at 57, Jeremiah Moody is down. Caleb Young is down. That's going to be a really exciting wrestle off, and it's important for Iowa who goes there. That's like kind of the big question mark coming into this year. And if they can get some real contribution from one of those guys, they could be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of when you tweeted about Moody yesterday being a nice little option there for Iowa at 57, it kind of triggered Spay.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh,
He just
I know why.
Because you listed off all those wins he had, right? And then he's like, well, Makai texted him twice like a month later.
Yeah, I wasn't including his losses. Is it Spay? Ask yourself: is it factually correct that he beat Makai Lewis? Yes. Did Makai Lewis break in that match? Without question. I'm sorry. Those are the facts. They are indisputable. Okay, he beat him, and no one at Earths could even do that. So I don't know. Makai Lewis is probably definitely better, but he still it shows where he's at, and he also beat Dustin Plott, who we're all really excited about. So. Yeah, and Young has some wins as well, but I think Moody.
I kind of agree with you. I think
got
there's much more upside with Moody than Caleb Young.
Yeah, then someone deleted the message. But someone sent me a list of Caleb Young's wins, and they were insane. But then he deleted the tweet, so I don't know where it is now. But he definitely thought
Well, let me try.
He was taking umbrage with the fact that I was saying Moody might be a better option than Caleb Young. I don't know if he's better. I think he might be, but there's no way to know for sure. We'll find out. And no Sam Stoll for the wrestle off. It looks like it'll be just Costello versus Cassiope, and I'm sure we'll see Costello in opening action while Stoll and Turk serve that match suspension.
Yep.
So yeah. These are going down. Well, shoot, today is like the round 1 stuff for Iowa wrestle-offs, and tomorrow is the finals.
Ben George says he's going to live tweet them for us on Friday.
All right. Well, at least we'll have live Twitter action.
That's right.
If nothing else. I remember what year.
Go ahead.
Now you go.
I see wins for Caleb Young over Lorenzo De La Riva, Clark Glass, Andrew Fogarty, and there was one more. May Bethea.
He might not. No, I think this guy was citing some freestyle wins.
Gotcha. These are all the past 2 folk style seasons.
Yeah, it's tougher. So maybe we'll do some research. How about it? We'll consider that maybe after the show. To be determined. So yeah, that's the Iowa wrestle-offs. Those are going down. Going to be exciting. Man, wrestling's back, and I'm fired up. Can't wait.
It's a big weekend.
It really is. I love that there's no easing into this season. It's go right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We've got friends. They've got questions. Let's get to questions from friends.
Let's do it.
Ty Prasma, former Missouri Tiger / VMI assistant coach / I'm not sure what he's doing right now. He's a cool guy. For FRL questions, let's say we implement a step out in Folk worth a stall warning in the exchange on the out of bounds line for Valencia versus Hall in the finals. Who gets hit first? Well, I guess he's talking about that crazy flurry that those two had.
Yeah.
So I don't have it exactly. Remember it so specifically, but to me, it's like if there's action happening on the edge, like you let the action continue. If there's a takedown from it, then okay. But if a guy initiates an attack and there's a step out, then that would be the point. And also, Ty, you take that scenario and you if you have that rule, the action is going to be different on the edge, right? They're not some of the choices that Zahid or Mark made in that flurry probably wouldn't happen if there is a step out rule. So it's not apples to apples how it would be interpreted because the tactics would likely adjust. But I kind of like how freestyle does it for the most part. Freestyle, when they were given the continuation takedowns on the edge and letting guys wrestle through it, I thought that was like the purest form of how to do edge wrestling. And if that's the case for NCAA and folk style, I think it'd be great. So that's my answer, I guess, to that one.
I think you nailed it. Also, they were kind of rolling around a lot too, like across their backs and stuff. We probably wouldn't have seen that either if it was freestyle. But yeah, I think you nailed it.
Eliezer DeLuca, former Rutgers wrestler, cool guy from Oregon, a friend to Chael P. Sonnen, asks Renteria or DeSanto. I got Renteria. Well, J. Rent not involved in the wrestle-offs, it looks like. I think he's a long way from making 133, at least right now. So, not going to see that match. Although
redshirt year
that
for
would be a
Renteria
hand-fighting war.
Yeah, it would. Do we think Renteria redshirt year, right?
For sure, right? Like DeSanto's going, he can redshirt, and maybe they switch years, or who knows how that's going to work. But they can move that decision down another year.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Which team is going to make a surprise run to the top 10 at NCAAs this year? I don't know this answer, but we haven't talked much about, in terms of sleeper teams, I feel like Nebraska hasn't come up much. They have a fire squad. They are going to be really, really good this year. You think about Zeke Moisey, 33 is going to be rough, I think, but they've got Chad Redd, Tyler Berger, Isaiah White, Mike Labriola, Vins, Eric Schultz. That's like 7 or 8 really, really good All-American contender if they're not already All-American type of dudes. I think that's a team, and it feels like Nebraska has had teams like this where it's like a lot of pretty good guys, but to me, on the one hand, you could say, you know what, they kind of round to 12 a lot. They kind of get right. They knock on the door and then lose. And so you could say, yeah, maybe they just don't quite put it all together in NCAAs. But at the same time, I kind of am the other way. I'm like, at one of these tournaments, it could all come together, and they could shoot into the top 5. And now they don't have necessarily the title contending firepower that can really propel you into that top 5. If things converge, they could be looking at a top maybe 5, 6, 7 finish. And I think they're a really exciting team on paper as of right now.
Yeah, I like that. And then the team I kind of was looking at is Minnesota. We have them ranked 20th right now. But that's just based on, rankings and sliding that into the point scale. But you go Sean Russell now at 25, Lezak 33, Mitch McKee 41, 49. What's that? Oh, yeah, Tommy Thorne, then Blythe, then Jake Aller, Skatska, Owen Webster. Not sure who's in 97, but then probably Gable at heavyweight. That's a team that can easily be in the top 10.
Especially when, let's just say it, we think Gable's going to win NCAAs, right? And there's 22-ish points right there. Lezak has finished 2nd and 4th the last 2 years and is a bonus machine. Mm-hmm. If McKee and Thorne and Russell can optimize their performance, and, someone like Allard, someone I'm really excited for coming into this year. I loved him in high school. Last year, kind of off the grid. I think a lot of him, and Skatska is kind of a proven, he's going to qualify. He's probably going to score some points. So I love the Minnesota nod there. I think they're going to have a really good team. Brock Desert, favorite Halloween candy? Don't let Willie answer. Promise. He will not answer this. Yeah, I love when you put the stipulations that Willie can't answer questions just in general, because sometimes he just poo-poos the questions in a really rude way. So, and he doesn't even like candy or Halloween, so he wouldn't even know how to answer this question. My favorite, mine are these Reese's pumpkins things. They're like the Reese cups, but they're pumpkin shaped and they're big. I've been having a real problem with those lately.
Reese Cups, the GOAT, Kit Kats, and Twix.
I love Twix. Cannot stand Kit Kats. Think they might be, in my opinion, the most overrated candy ever. But I know I'm on an island there.
Yeah, that's a trash take. They have these Halloween ones that are orange. They're really good. Highly recommend them.
That's great. Apparently, so I wasn't home for Halloween yesterday. I was here, but someone gave out chips to my children.
I've gotten chips before.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never experienced that, but it's kind of a nice change up.
No, I like it. There's this local chip company called Mr. B's in Parkersburg, and people used to give out the little mini bags of Mr. B's, and like you said, it's a nice little change up.
When I'm like old, I want to be the guy that just answers the door, and I just stick my hand in a big bag of Lay's potato chips and just like drop a handful in the bucket. Say Happy Halloween.
That's not what your kids got, right? They just didn't put random chips in there. They got like a bag, right?
Yeah, they got a bag.
I'm just making sure that didn't happen because I could see somebody doing that.
That would be hilarious. In Pflugerville, you never know.
Seriously.
Oh, wow. Brock Desert's kind of on fire. I mean,
Let him
I
go.
wouldn't ask all his questions, but he asks good questions. Season starts today. Put your name on it. 2019 NCAA Individual Champions, weight by weight.
Let's do it.
I don't know if we want to do that. I don't know if we want to do this without our friends. Maybe we should. Maybe we should do it now. Here's the move. We do it now. Maybe we take some risks, and then when the guys come back, we do it again because they're not going to listen. They're going to have no idea what we said.
Right.
And who cares if the fans hold us accountable? We're going to have a couple different sets of picks that we can literally cut out and say after it happens, and we can sound really smart. So let's just, it's like buying multiple lottery tickets at this point, Kyle.
We reserve right to change our picks for when our friends come back.
For when our friends come back or when the NCAA finals get set.
Yes.
We can change our picks up to that point, and you can't hold us accountable unless we are right from a long distance out, in which case, thank you. 125. Yeah, this should be a short discussion. I'm going to go with the man Spencer Lee.
I will go Spencer the Condenser as well.
Yes, he will be condensing. 133 though. Oh boy, this is one where I'm going to do a lot of changing. I'm going to need 4 or 5 picks here to cover all my bases. But my first pick is going to be Nicky Suriano. I think it's his year. I think he gets over the hump. I think he figures it out. Gross, love Gross. He's the man to beat. Tariq Wilson, Stefan Micic. It's going to be hard, but
maybe Dayton Fix.
Yeah, Dayton Fix. Yeah, I forgot about Dayton because we're still like, which weight's he going? It's tough to like kind of. But I really think Suriano's going 33. I really think Dayton's going 33. And yeah, I'm gonna go Suriano, but who the heck knows?
I was gonna say Gross over Suriano, but I don't feel good about it. I will stick with Gross though, since you went Suriano. But I do like Suriano to make the finals.
I think I'm basing it basically on Suriano's head hands and basically wholly on the fact that I think he can get away from Gross and basically no one else can. That could be wrong, but I think Suriano's really good underneath. So that's why
he can get to his legs.
Yes.
So
yes. All right, 41. Man, I'm picking Yanni. I really am, but it's not a foregone conclusion. I think a match we didn't see that is going to be tough for Yanni. And correct me if I'm wrong, but did not hit McKenna last year, right?
No, he did not.
I think that's a tough one for Yanni. I really do. I think McKenna's good on the mat. He's so tough to get to. I think the upside sure is with Yanni, but man, that guy, his senior year, if he went out on top and won a scrappy 2-1, 3-2 match against Yanni, I don't think that should surprise us, even though Yanni's arc is insane.
And Ironman's given Yanni fits. He beat him,
Yeah.
and then they went to overtime.
He really beat him.
He had to come from behind to go to overtime with him at NCAAs. But I'm picking Yanni. I would not be shocked if he doesn't win, but I do feel confident in the Yanni pick. The kid is just a gamer. I don't know.
Right.
He's got that Kyle Dake, raises his level when the lights are the brightest.
I mean, and as I kind of cast down on my own pick with the McKenna thing, I'm like, man, dude, he already did it with a torn ACL. It's tough to see him not winning. 149, I'm still gonna pick Zayn until further notice. No, this is really hard. This is one maybe more than 33. I'm gonna change it multiple times. Tristan Moran's got Bulu Allen. I know that, but I'm gonna take Michael Jordan, the greatest wrestler to not win NCAAs.
Okay.
Will win NCAAs.
I'm gonna take Gio Martinez. No, I'm just kidding. I'm taking Anthony Ashnault. He's gonna mob all the way to Rutgers' first national title.
Except he'll be second because
on my predictions, he's first.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, Kolodzik, Lugo, all these dudes. It's gonna be a crazy one. Micah is really tough to pick to win a tournament because he is so not good on bottom, and he's just gonna have to win a lot of takedown contests. So
pretty sure the only tournament he's ever won is the time he won CKLV
as a true freshman
against Lugo, though.
Oh wait, no. So he's won Vegas twice then, because he killed everyone his freshman year at 41. Then he won the next year at 49 when he beat Lugo.
That's a good point. So CKLV lights out, except last year when he lost to Pantaleo.
He got sucked back and almost pinned. We won't worry about that. Yeah, I don't know. This will probably definitely be one I change a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But if he does win, we can say it. November 1st, Christian Piles called it, which will be the ultimate. Okay, 157, very simple. Jason Nolf or you're fired.
Jason Nolf.
That's not like a flow thing. I don't care what your job is. If you don't pick Jason Nolf, you are fired. Okay, those are the rules. I'm not in HR, but I just know that's how it works.
That's the way it
works. You have to pick him. 165. Okay. And on the one hand, it's like, how do you pick against this guy, Vincenzo Joseph? He literally did it, and he did it against a guy that basically didn't lose any. And at the same time, it's like, man, Evan Wick's really good. I think he could match up well with him. I give Evan a great shot. I love Marinelli. I like a lot of these dudes. But at the end of the day, I'm going to pick Chenzo.
Me too. And he might lose a match during the regular season. He might get pushed at NCAAs like we saw with Isaiah White last year, but I like him to get his hand raised at the end of the match in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. He's literally
in his city.
Central Catholic.
In his city.
In his own city. Wow. Yeah, he has to win now. Pretty sure he already won. Congrats to him. 3-time champ, Vincenzo Joseph. 174. I guess we got to say, I'm going to say, man, you got to say Zahid.
Yep.
Zahid Mark again. And, I was kind of like Team Mark. But after the All-Star and then NCAAs, I don't know if you can really do that anymore. I think you just have to say it's Zahid. He's established himself. Even though anytime you go into a match picking against Mark, there's a lot of nervousness, but there should be more nervousness picking against Zahid Valencia. So I'm going with Zahid. Would kind of love it if he went up to 84 just because it'd be a neat little wrinkle, but I think he's staying down. And for that reason, I'm going with Zahid Valencia.
I'm going with Zahid as well.
Extension of the rivalry too.
Yeah.
Maybe Mark gets one, and the neat thing is they'll duel at Penn State, so we'll see it again. That's very exciting as well.
The one in Rec Hall is really interesting because Rec Hall's kind of got like that Carver Magic thing going on right now.
Yeah.
So I don't. Maybe he steals that one there, and then maybe we see Zahid get him back in the finals. But I like Zahid as well.
And the one thing that no one's talking about is Zahid Valencia is winless at Rec Hall. And
wow,
you have
good
to
point.
Imagine. And has Mark Hall ever lost at Rec Hall?
No.
No. So basically, it defies
something's got to give.
Logic.
Something's got to
give. Okay, so we'll see Mark Zahid at Rec Hall. where Zahid will have to be a tremendous underdog because of the stats. All right, we're coming along. We're at 184, and if Zahid is truly down and Bo Nickel is truly up, then there's a man. He's going to wrestle in his home gym, McDonough High School. I got Miles Martin.
I do too. Miles was unbelievable last year.
Yes.
He was incredibly close to pinning Bo Nickel and just having Ohio State win the team title, just completely switching the script. And there's no Bo Nickel this year. So I like Miles to finish his career with bookend titles.
Miles won because of all the transcendent talent we have right now. The really, 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 really good guys like Miles kind of get lost in the shuffle. And he had a monster year last year. And he's been a monster basically for 3 straight years. He stayed on the path. He looked really good at wrestle-offs. He just does all the right stuff. He's in that room. Yeah. And I don't even know, if that's the construction of the weight. I mean, who is the challenger there?
I don't know.
I mean, is it Emery Parker, Taylor Vins, Zach Savatsky, Ryan Price? I mean,
Parker and Savatsky do have wins over Miles, but that was a completely different Miles Martin as well.
That was sophomore Miles.
You're right, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I agree. It's Miles has jumped levels really every year, and throughout his true freshman year, he really improved. All right, 197, Bo Nickel is who I've got.
I feel like it's another if you don't pick Bo Nickel, you're fired thing.
Yeah, you're fired. From whatever your job is, you're fired if you don't pick Bo. Those are the rules, and I'm sorry. Just don't pick against them, and you won't have to get fired.
Right.
It's very
then
simple.
You get to keep your job and money.
Yeah. So if you don't want to work, say someone else's name. Heavyweight will allow you technically to pick against Gable Steveson, but you should be on some sort of personal improvement plan for wherever you work if you pick against Gable, but not fired. But I'm picking Gable.
I am too. I mean, he's just the best guy at the weight.
Yeah, and it's like, can you really see Sam Stoll or Tanner Hall or one of those guys? Can you just close your eyes and envision them on top of the podium in March? I personally cannot, and I don't know who else it would be. I think he wins, no problemo. Of course, if Omar Desi comes back, that's interesting, but come on, dog.
Yeah, it's Gable Steveson.
World. So those are our 100% picks to win NCAAs,
Correct
barring
picks.
anything. Barring NCAAs happening and something different happening from those.
Obviously.
We're going to get a couple different iterations of these until we get it right. And my hope is that through the magic of the internet and editing, I will be able to splice together a video of me correctly picking all 10 NCAA champions. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I think this year I can put some real fake news together and convince people that I picked them all.
Let's do it. Spay convinced everybody he had the perfect NCAA basketball bracket last year.
That was so hilarious when everyone was like, no way, you don't really have it. He's like, I know, it's crazy, but I haven't missed one. Even like down to the Final Four, which is completely
with Loyola Chicago in the Final Four.
Did that really happen?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I don't follow basketball very well, obviously, because you would think I would remember that. Someone asked best Halloween costume. I would have to humbly say me, because I made multiple coworkers literally think I was Nomad, and one girl even gasped in horror because she was so freaked out because she thought I was Nomad.
There were a few times during the day when like I saw you from behind and my mind just registered Nomad, and then I was like, oh wait, that is Christian, never mind. Nomad did not appreciate it. I don't care what he said, he did not appreciate it.
I know. I don't know why, because maybe it was because I was an exact replica, from the shoes to the pants to the quarter zip to the hair, to the hat. I pulled it off, and I think maybe he didn't like what he saw, but I saw a beautiful young man, and he should love himself some more. Because to not like my outfit is to not like himself.
Yeah.
And he should love himself like we love him. And imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Very
Wrestling
true.
Nomad. Okay. What could be the peak of 20? Who could be the peak of 2020? So I guess that means young guy maybe a little ahead of his time in 2020 makes a run, and I do not know who that could be.
Does Gable
Who
count
could be?
as a young guy?
Yeah, Gable would be like 20. So I don't know.
How old was Pico? 19?
He was, I think he was 19. So a 19-year-old. I don't know if there is such a one, because basically that would be someone from the class of 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and that class I don't see it. I mean Aaron Brooks, but no way. I mean, he's not in that 86 mix, so, like Pico was at 65. So there will be no Pico of 2020, and that was God that asked that. So, which
I feel like he should have the answer to that.
Yeah, what are you asking me for, Lord? Sean Warner, father to Jacob Warner. Is there a coach on the hot seat this year? And what young coach would you like to see get a shot at a D1 job? Well, I don't know who's on the hot seat because I don't know what administrations care, but just look at, big programs that stink. And probably those coaches should be, but whether they care or not, I don't know. But as far as assistants, and I may get beat up for saying this in this room.
Yeah,
but
be careful.
I got to be careful. He's in the wrestling room. Maybe Coach Bono's going to be way too busy. I'm going to be off the grid by the time word gets back to him. But John Reeder,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this guy is unbelievable. And everyone that works with him, that knows him, his work ethic, he'll get his shot one day. I think he really wants to do something big here first. And I think he really likes working with Coach Bono. But I think he's someone you got to be given a close look at. And, I think the fit, the advantage that he has, that he's in a really good situation. He's not going to have to go and take a job that maybe isn't the most ideal circumstance. But him, definitely Brian Snyder is someone I think should get a shot. Those are two that come to mind. I'm sure there's good dudes I'm like spacing on right now, but that's who I think should get a shot. And as far as who should be canned, well, read between the lines there.
Yeah.
Bad Big Ten team. If you're bad, really bad every year in the Big Ten, I don't know what to tell you.
You nailed it.
Maybe time for a shakeup. Yeah. So that's that. Predictions for Iowa Wrestloffs, we kind of did that. Kyle, you can answer this. A lot of people, it's kind of funny. People are asking questions of us like we were like, I mean, Kyle was a good wrestler, right? But, Nomad and I were definitely scrubs. It's like they're like coming to us, but I don't know. They want to know wrestling stuff from us. They want to know our best moves. Michael Malay wants to know, what was your favorite thing to eat and drink after making weight?
I would usually have Subway. It wasn't necessarily like my favorite thing. Usually it wasn't necessarily like my favorite thing, that or like PB&Js and then just Gatorade and water.
Okay. That sounds good.
There were a few times like my sophomore year when I was like cutting weight really stupid and like just craving random stuff. I would have like a Red Bull after weigh-ins, and that was not smart.
Oh my gosh.
That was like 15-year-old Kyle just going rogue.
Wow, that was your rebellious streak. Red Bull after weigh-ins. Tanner Lefevre wants to know, if Nomad covered every inch of himself in baby oil other than his wrist, could he get out from under Spencer Lee in less than 7 minutes? Well, one, why is he not covering his wrists in baby oil? Because that's necessary too. Because that's the only reason this is even a question.
Yeah.
And the answer, regardless, I don't care how much baby oil is involved. No, he cannot get away from Spencer Lee in 7 minutes.
No matter what scenario you have, he's not getting away from Spencer Lee.
Yeah, unless he is covered in molten lava that incinerates Spencer Lee's hands, he cannot get away. Matt McDonough put me on my back, unsurprisingly, yesterday and made me fight off of it, and it was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, but he did technique on me, and it was really uncomfortable.
I know. He went hammerlock, just, like Iowa, chin and arm, like on my back, mouth completely covered. He's like, all right, now you got to fight. So I had to do that. So I at least did that. I'm sure I wasn't getting the full, but he said I fought hard. So
that's good.
Yeah. Hey, a lot of experience. Experience is a great teacher. been on my back plenty. So you learn how to fight off of it. All right. Let's see. Any questions you want to call out there? Kyle Bradke?
I don't think more kids will start trying to make Greco and freestyle teams. I think they will pick one.
Yeah, Adam Kuhn is an outlier in every way, from being a 6'6" astronaut to being a Greco and freestyle specialist. Just Adam Kuhn is not the template for anyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe Smith update.
Yes.
His first match is going to be at like 184, apparently.
Is that at Oklahoma City Open, I believe?
I think so. So I don't know what that means for him. I don't know if he can beat Dakota Gear. It raises a lot of questions. But, yeah, that's it. That's all I know. I don't know. I think, little intel, I think the pitch Dayton Brock 25 through 41 is going to happen. Boo's going to be the 49. G's going to be kind of out of luck. And then 65 looks like Chandler, and then Jacoby at 74. And I don't know what Joe Smith's doing. So we'll see there. And I don't know if he can beat Dakota Gear. But that's
my gosh.
That's your Cowboy.
G Feller, Joe Smith possibly on the bench.
That's unreal. That's the Oklahoma State first world problems. It's got to be someone. Okay. Steve and Kyle, what else you got?
I'm looking here. We are on Roku. Colton Jensen asked. Flow Sports.
Yes.
Don't search FloWrestling. Search Flow Sports. You can find it that way.
What time's everything get going tonight?
So 6 p.m. Central for West Virginia, Northern Colorado, 7 for Buffalo, Wisconsin. So nice little buffer there, yeah. And then Saturday morning, it's an early start with the Clarion, Wyoming Cowboy Open, and the Rutgers Quad starting at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Central. Those are Central times. And then that evening, 6 p.m., Ohio State Navy. So that nice little early look at the Buckeyes. Should be a cool atmosphere with Miles Martin going back to McDonough. And then Sunday you have Daktronics at 9 a.m. And then at noon, the debut of North Dakota State Duels live on FloWrestling as they take on Northwestern. So you'll get to see Sebastian Rivera, Ryan Deacon up at 57.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's exciting.
Nice look at Northwestern early in the season. North Dakota State, not bad either. I think Fleetwood's going to be the 25-pounder, so a decent test for Sebastian Rivera. Lorenzo De La Riva transferred there from CSUB.
To North Dakota?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I feel like I should know that kind of intelligence. All right, I missed that one.
I'm going to confirm that just to make sure I just didn't make that up.
It's all right. We'll just edit it.
He's
just
there.
Like
he's there. So Andrew Fogarty, who's pretty good at 65, and De La Riva up at 74.
Yeah. All right, could be a salty Roger Kish-led squad there.
Oh, Johnny Sebastian, Lorenzo De La Riva.
That will be fun. Johnny Sebastian, who is, I think, a true freshman now because he got multiple years back. So good for Johnny. And with that, Caitlin in the control room / command center, I think we're ready to go. Man, I kind of think we nailed this show. What can you say, Bracky?
It was a little we're kind of rushing last minute and a lot of moving parts, but yeah, for all the circumstances, we really did a good job.
We overcame a lot of adversity. So here's my plan. I'm just gonna hang out in the wrestling room and put stuff on FloWrestling.org, and Kyle Bracky's gonna put it out on social so you can see all the cool stuff going on here in this room. The Badgers could be cutting weight. Oh, we played spike ball. I had Ryan Christensen on my team. We won the best 2 out of 3 against Pat Spray and some other young buck. So yeah, it was pretty fun playing in the room. They have a lot of house rules, like if it hits the ventilation on a spike, it's not your point and stuff like that. But as you can imagine, playing in a room was great. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to play again.
I'm jealous that you played because we have not played in weeks here because Austin decided to turn into Portland and rain for 3 straight weeks.
It was absolutely brutal.
It rained again yesterday.
I heard about that. It was beautiful here. I was so lucky to avoid the rain. Well, I don't know if the song's playing. It probably is.
It is
All
playing.
right, Caitlin says it's playing. Nice. And so we want to thank ASICS. We want to thank Wisconsin for having us. We want to thank you for listening. We will be back next Tuesday. Will Nomad make it back alive? Willie's very sick apparently. Will he get on antibiotics? Will he be able to get to a drugstore? These are the questions that we will answer for you on Tuesday. But until then,
we will have real college wrestling to talk about on Tuesday. It will have actually happened.
It will all be over. All the speculation comes to an end. Enjoy the first day of college wrestling. Tune in live, me and Ben Askren, Wisconsin, Buffalo, Northern Colorado, West Virginia. And with that, goodbye.